All right, welcome to the YouTube live stream. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. In just a few minutes, we will be announcing which school Antonio Alfano has committed to, the class of 2019. Defensive tackle out of New Jersey, 6'4", 285 pounds. 4-star by Rivals.com, and it's going to be a big day for the Alabama Crimson Tide, what we've been told. However, it's going to be between Georgia, Penn State, and Alabama. Now, earlier this morning, Adam Friedman of Rivals.com released an article which it painted a good backstory for Antonio Alfano. And in his own words, the decision wasn't easy at all, Alfano said. These top three schools are neck and neck. It's just going to be about which school I feel more comfortable at and which school could help me succeed the most. On Alabama. Alabama is a great school, he said. I like the brotherhood there. It's like a fraternity with all the players. And they're good year in and year out. They develop players really well. And my dad and I enjoyed the time. I'm closest with Josh Gaddis, Coach Tosh Lapoy, and Coach Cool, said Alfano. Coach Gaddis moved down there from Penn State. We built a relationship even before he was at Alabama. I didn't know Coach Cool much until he was at Miami and never really got to know each other until he got to Alabama. According to Alfano, he continued, he knows LeBron Ray, Raekwon Davis, Deron Payne, Isaiah Buggs, all linemen, of course, at Alabama. Really the whole the whole defensive line, He said, I was with them when I was down in Tuscaloosa. He goes on to talk about Georgia. The visit to Georgia was really cool because of the way they made me feel. And then he continues. They laid out the red carpet for us, and he said he really enjoyed his trip to Georgia. And you can read all this on BamaInsider.com. And in terms of Penn State, at Penn State, I know a lot of the people there, and it's close to home. He said, I've been up there 10 times. There are a lot of guys I'm familiar with that go there, players and students. Rivals reaction, seems from everyone that we've spoken to, it looks like Antonio Alfano will head to Alabama. And, it'd be a big pickup for the Crimson Tide. And again, if you're just joining us, reading some snippets from an article published today by Adam Friedman of Rivals.com. Antonio Alfano previews today's commitment. He should be committed in just a few minutes. I have a writer out in New Jersey who's actually covering the event for us, and he will send us a video interview with Antonio Alfano if he does choose for the Crimson Tide. If you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. You can always call into the show at 205-686-3604. And we're right now kind of just waiting on the announcement for Antonio Alfano. And I think he's a player that Alabama fans should really be excited about if he does head to Alabama. 6'4", 285 pounds, out of New Jersey. And as mentioned just a while ago, he was recruited by Josh Gaddis out of Alabama. Now, remember, Josh Gaddis just recently moved here from Penn State. And let's take a quick look at Alabama's class of 2019. They're putting together a really seasoned class. The class of 2019 is packed with big-time players. And most recently to commit back on May 2nd was DJ Dell, 6'3", 320-pound defensive tackle out of Pinson, Alabama. Only a 3-star right now, but I think you could see that bump to a 4-star as we progress closer to the 2018 season. Before DJ Dell, it was Kevin Harris, a 6'4", 220-pound weak side defensive end out of Georgia. If you want to know more about Kevin Harris, there's a great article written on him. If you click any of these profiles on BamaInsider.com by Chad Simmons, weak side defensive end, and I think Kevin Harris is someone that Alabama's really amped up about. Before that, it was Amari Kite, 6'6", 300-pound offensive tackle, also out of Alabama. And getting those big offensive tackles, really important, especially early on. And Amari Kite is a guy who I think is going to really flourish at Alabama over the next couple years. Besides that, it was Tanner Tanner Bowles, 6'5", 270 pounds. Don't really know too much about Tanner, but Alabama did recruit him hard. He's a 3-star, 6'5", 270 pounds out of Kentucky. Alabama's also recruiting a receiver out of Kentucky, and that's Milton Wright. So we'll see if Alabama potentially lands 2 big-time commits from the class 2019 out of Kentucky. On April 21st, it was actually A-Day. That's when Talia Tungo-Vailoa, Tua's younger brother, did commit to the Crimson Tide. 6 foot, 190-pound dual-threat quarterback out of Thompson in Alabama. Actually will be attending the Elite 11 finals in Los Angeles on June 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. I'll actually be out at the Elite 11, which I'm pretty excited about. And in just a couple minutes, I'll be talking about Paul Tyson, the other Alabama commitment. Shane Lee, big-time get for Alabama, 6 foot, 235-pound inside linebacker out of Baltimore, Maryland. Alabama continues to have a strong connection within Maryland, and Shane Lee is a guy who's really built like Dylan Moses, who Alabama loves at inside linebacker, and I think everybody's going to really be excited about Shane Lee. And same school, I believe, as Ayabi Anoma, who's a weak side defensive end, outside linebacker for Alabama, who will be on campus in the month of June. Christian Williams, another 4-star out of Alabama. Getting those DBs, very important for Alabama, 6'1", 175 pounds. And as I mentioned earlier, Paul Tyson at 6'4", 210 pounds out of Hewitt-Trussell. Big-time quarterback, the great-grandson of Paul Bear Bryant. So Alabama has 2 quarterbacks in the class 2019 after signing 0 in 2018. Rashad Cheney, 6'3", 265 pounds, strong side defensive end out of Cedar Grove out in Georgia, another 4-star. Brandon Turnage is a guy who we've heard he's probably not going to end up in this class 2019 for Alabama. So he's kind of on a decommitment watch, so to speak. 6'1", 185-pound defensive back. King Makuta out of Georgia. He was one of Alabama's first commitments, 6'4", 220 pounds outside linebacker. And then the first commitment for the class 2019 happened a year ago on A-Day, which is Pierce Quick. And Pierce Quick has just been a guy who's really, really been a big advocate for Alabama over the last, I guess, year, really recruiting this class 2019. So Alabama fans, be sure and send a shout out to Pierce Quick, because he's a guy who's really recruited for the Crimson Tide. If you're just joining us, we're waiting. It is decision day for Antonio Alfano, a 6'4", 285-pound defensive tackle out of New Jersey. And once he does commit, we will keep you posted on that, and we will let you know who he has committed to. It's going to come down between Georgia, Penn State, and Alabama. And why don't we play some highlights of him real quick, and you can see what type of player Alabama, Georgia, or Penn State could be getting in Antonio Alfano. So here are some highlights that he put together. These are from his junior year. And as you can see, at 6'4", 285 pounds, I think people are really excited about the athleticism he has. And even though he's listed as a defensive tackle, speaking with Andrew Bones, I think that, Andrew Bone said that he would like him maybe at a defensive end position. So we got some news just coming in, so hold on. And let me break this real quick. And again, I have a writer out in New Jersey covering the event. So just a few moments, we'll bring it to you who Antonio Alfano has committed to. You're watching highlights of him right now on Huddle. So one second, I'm texting my guy right now and trying to get you the information to bring it home to you guys. But you guys can call into the show, 205-686-3604. That's my number. My name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Again, you are watching highlights right now of Antonio Alfano, and big-time prospect from the class 2019, 6'4", 280 pounds, and trying to bring you the information right now on who he committed to between Alabama, Georgia, and Penn State. And Georgia's been putting together one heck of a class, and I think this would be a big land for Alabama in terms of stealing one from the Georgia Bulldogs. As you know, Georgia's been I don't think we've seen the end of Georgia and Alabama. Let's just say that. So in just a few minutes, we'll announce who Antonio Alfano has committed to. We're playing some highlights of him right now in the meantime while we wait to get the information in. And as I did mention, it's, let's see. And it is Alabama. Alabama has landed Antonio Alfano, class of 2019, big time pickup for the Crimson Tide. This just in, and I got this information actually from Tony Tsoukalis. So breaking news, Antonio Alfano has committed to Alabama. Roll Tide, roll. Alabama lands another big time target from the class of 2019. Let's update this real quick, and then we'll talk about Antonio Alfano, and hopefully we can get a call from Andrew Bone. Again, if you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com, and as I mentioned, Antonio Alfano has committed to the Crimson Tide. Big time land for Alabama as Alabama gets a big time target, and big ups to Josh Gaddis, who did the majority of the recruiting for Antonio Alfano being in the Northeast. Alabama is getting a 6'4", 285-pound defensive tackle. And as I mentioned earlier, he could be, placed at that defensive end position. He's got a lot of athleticism. Everybody's really excited about what he brings to the table. And you're going to be watching some highlights right now of Antonio Alfano. I'm going to clean up the front page on BamaInsider.com. And I'll be right back with you guys on the show, and we'll continue. So just give me 1 second real quick. We're going to actually have some video coming in from our affiliate, and thanks for joining us on the program. If you're just joining us, my name is Kyle Henderson. Alabama has picked up a monster commitment, and this is a big time get for Alabama. 6'4", 285 pounds, and I'm actually doing two things at once, so give me 1 second. Yeah, big time get. I mean, I think if you're an Alabama fan, you have to be really excited about, this class that Alabama has been putting together. I mean, look at these guys before Antonio Alfano. I mean, you got DJ Dell, 6'3", 320 pounds. Kevin Harris, another weak side defensive end, and they also got the linemen. I mean, look, Amari Kite, 6'6", 300 pounds. And Tanner Bowles it looks like an underrated guy potentially with a 3-star. Then you got your quarterbacks, Talia Tungo-Vailoa. You got your inside linebackers and Shane Lee. Your defensive backs, Christian Williams, Paul Tyson, another quarterback in the mix. Rashad Cheney is a strong side defensive end. So Saban really putting together a big-time class. And if you're just joining us, Alabama's picked up another one in Antonio Alfano. And it's a prospect that everybody should be really excited about. And you can always call into the show. My number is 205-686-3604. If you want to chat, if you want to post, any type of message. And you can also call in, and we'll just rap about the class 2019 if you want. 205-686-3604. Let me know in the comment box what you think of Alabama's big-time commit today, Antonio Alfano. I mean, I'm personally really excited about him. I'll play some highlights again from his junior year, and I know Alabama's really excited about him. And speaking with Andrew Bone earlier, it looks like he's a guy that, even though he is floating close to 300 pounds, he has the athleticism to play defensive end. And that's got to be exciting for Alabama, because you got DJ Dell, your big defensive tackle, and then you're starting to sprinkle in the defensive line around him with guys like Antonio Alfano and, other guys coming in like Kevin Harris. So let's see what else we got? Getting more information from our affiliate, and as soon as I get all that information, I'll bring it over to you on BamaInsider.com. You can go to the front page and read our content, the stories, and Andrew Bone, of course, is going to have what it means, and I think just straight up what it means is Alabama is building a monster class in 2019. Yeah, what's up, Patrick? Roll Tide, roll. I think everybody's really excited about this kid. And give me 1 second real quick while I clean up the front page on BamaInsider.com, and then we'll get going. Oh, you know what? We're gonna have Andrew Bone call in. That's what's up. All right. Just give me 1 second, and then I'll pipe in Andrew Bone. He's our recruiting analyst for. Oh, here he is. All right, let me tell him to call that other number real quick. Andrew.
Hey, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man? Hey, so we got Antonio Alfano. Break it down, man. What does it mean for the Crimson Tide?
Well, it's a huge commitment. A big defensive end, 6'4", 285 pounds. Elite target for Alabama. Gives Alabama 3 defensive line commitments, 13 overall in this 2019 recruiting class. It's huge. I mean, Alabama was able to go into New Jersey, get one of the best recruits on the East Coast. Josh Gaddis, the new wide receivers coach, was in charge of his recruitment. And, they had a great relationship, prior to his arrival at Alabama. He was the wide receivers coach at Penn State, and they had a great relationship up there, and it continued over to Tuscaloosa. So, huge addition for Alabama's class.
Andrew, as we look at this class 2019, I really like what Alabama is doing on the defensive side of the ball. Can you talk about the defensive side for the class 2019?
Yeah, you first got to start with that defensive front. It certainly is impressive with Antonio Alfano, DJ Dell, Rashad Cheney, and then, that linebacker unit, another really impressive group of guys, Kevin Harris, Shane Lee, King Wakuda. Those are 3 elite linebackers right there. And then, you look at the defensive back class, Brendan Turnage, who committed very early and is still kind of taking some visits. So, we'll see how that one plays out. But Christian Williams, one of the top defensive backs in the country out of Daphne High School, huge addition. So, very strong start to that defensive class. I think it's only going to continue to get better. They've got several elite guys that they're going after. They've got a chance to sign, so it's going to be a tremendous defensive class, and obviously they've got a great offensive class as well. And put it all together, it's one of the top 2 classes in the country right now.
Andrew, Antonio commits to Alabama over Penn State and Georgia. How big is that recruiting-wise, momentum-wise for Alabama as we continue to push in the class 2019?
Well, it just continues the momentum that Alabama already had. It really kind of started in April with just a flurry of commitments, and it's just going to continue up until really up until the football season starts. They've got a big camp, some big camps coming up in June. 2 O-line, D-line camps, 2 high school camps, and a special teams camp. And usually you see some big commitments happen from those camps, and I expect kind of the same this year. Alabama, like I said, has 13 commitments. I think this time last year there was only about 3 or 4 commitments heading into the summer. Now they have 13 guys they absolutely love. So, we'll see what happens over the course of the next month or 2 before the season starts. But I think it's going to continue to get really, really good for Alabama.
We're speaking with Andrew Bone of BamaInsider.com. Antonio Alfano has just committed to the Crimson Tide. 13 commitments for the Crimson Tide as they continue to climb the Rivals.com recruiting rankings. Andrew, everybody wants to know on the chat, who's next for Alabama?
Who's next? The name I'd keep an eye on is Will Richard, number 1 kicker in the country out of Hoover High School. Expects to announce a decision within the next within the next few days, maybe next week or so. Expect to announce his commitment. So I'd really keep an eye on Will Richard at Hoover High School.
All right, before we let you go, Bone, now Antonio Alfano has committed to Alabama. If you're just joining us, 6'4", 285 pounds. The last time you and I talked, you said that Antonio, even though he's listed as a defensive tackle, could potentially be a defensive end just because he has so much athleticism.
Yeah, absolutely. Alabama loves those big defensive ends that we've seen have a tremendous amount of success in Tuscaloosa, guys who, are defensive tackle size in a lot of systems, but at Alabama, that 3-4, they can certainly line up on the outside, and they can move them into the inside as well. So he's got the ability and the range to move around on that defensive front. So we'll see, what he ends up transitioning into once he gets to college. I mean, every year he's gained about 20 pounds, and we could potentially see him get a little bit bigger, maybe probably over 300 pounds by the time he finishes his career in Tuscaloosa.
Hey, good stuff, Bone. We'll catch you soon back on the message board. Andrew Bone will have what it means posted on the premium Alabama message board. Be sure and look for the free 30 days. Thanks, Bone. We'll catch up with you soon, man. All right, that was Andrew Bone of BamaInsider.com. He's our recruiting analyst. If you're just joining us, Antonio Alfano has committed to the Crimson Tide. You can post your comments on the comments box. Before we wrap it up, hit me up with some chat questions. I want to chat with you guys. I haven't done this chat in a long time, and always fun to kick the ball back and forth with you guys. And the class 2019 is straight rolling. Tasmanian Devil Todd, what's up? This class is going to be finished number 1. I certainly agree with you. Christopher McLeod, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us. Keith Kirby, Roll Tide. What's up, man? Eric Owens, Patrick Hill, everyone on the chat. Thanks for joining us on the program. Hey, if you want more content on BamaInsider.com, simply go to the website. You can email me with account questions, Kyle@BamaInsider.com. And, of course, we have tons of coverage for you all the time on BamaInsider.com. Let's play some highlights of him real quick, and then, I'll let you guys out. But, big pickup for Alabama. As let's bring you that stuff real quick. This kid, I love his highlights. 6'4", 285 pounds, and when I play this clip here in a second, just check out his athleticism. It's pretty incredible. All right, here we go. All right, it's going to play here in a second. All right, keep in mind, 6'4", 285 pounds. Look at that. Shredding through the offensive lineman to get to the quarterback. Love his nose for the football, right? And, fights off a couple of offensive linemen to get to the quarterback. I love the fact that Josh Gaddis is doing work for Alabama. These younger coaches, Pete Golden, Josh Gaddis, Jeff Banks, these young guys bringing the swagger back to Alabama in terms of just, really having fun recruiting wise and getting their outreach on social media. And, I know what I'll show you guys too. While you guys are watching that, and after you guys are done with this, let's watch one more clip of your newest commitment. All right. Okay, let's go see where Alabama ranks in the Rivals.com recruiting rankings. They'll be updated in a little bit, and you can follow us on Twitter as well at Twitter.com/BamaInsider.com. All right, give me 1 second. I'll try to pull this up for you guys. What I'm doing now is I'm looking for the Rivals.com recruiting rankings. So just give me 1 second. And this is the team ranking. So it lists all the top teams in the country, and I'm eager to see if Alabama jumps Oklahoma. Okay, this will be updated in just a little bit. All right, here we go. Okay, so you guys should be seeing the Rivals.com team rankings. This is Rivals.com. So Oklahoma, currently number 1 in the country. But check this out. They got 2 5-stars out. Oklahoma does. So they got 11 total commitments, 2 5-stars, and 5 4-stars. Now look at Alabama. Now this will update here in a few minutes. They have 13 commitments actually, and they have 11 4-star commitments. And if you look at the average is this second column from the right, 3.83. Georgia, as you can see, has a 4.1. So Georgia's starting to do their thing as well. They also have a 5-star, which does which elevates your overall average. So let me see. I'm trying to get some stuff from our recruiting guy that we have out in New Jersey to see if he has any video for us. But once that video does get posted, I will post it in on our YouTube channel. But my name is Kyle Henderson of BamaInsider.com. Big pickup for Alabama. You can always call into the show at 205-686-3604. Thanks for joining us. I know we're starting to get a big crowd following us, and we like what you guys bring to the table. And you guys can always holler at me. And I don't know, Chris McLeod, is Alfano a better D end or a DT? Well, I think, like Andrew Bone said, probably defensive end. I mean, you saw his athleticism. You've seen his film. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens with him and see what also happens with Alabama depth-wise, because he's a guy that you can probably push to over the 300 pounds, or you could keep him around that 285. And if he's athletic enough, then you could just leave him at the defensive end position. So I think he's a guy who could play defensive tackle, but I think right now people like him as a defensive end. But all right, it looks like we got a call. All right, let's take this call, and give me 1 second. All right, 1 second. I'm getting the call. All right. All right, we lost the call. Hey, if you were calling in, call back. I'll be around for just a few more minutes and get you on the show. My apologies. I'm not sure exactly what happened. But you can always hit me up on the show, 205-686-3604, Kyle Henderson. And always here to rap with you guys, talk to you about Alabama football. What's up, Wicked Roller? Commitment video up on YouTube. Let's see. If we can get that video, if someone has that video, we could play it. I know that our guy is going to have an interview with him shortly, so you guys can so I'll play that for you on our YouTube channel. But and give me a call. Whoever just called in, call back, 205-686-3604. Big time commitment for Alabama, 13 commitments. Class of 2019, straight rolling. Alabama doing their thing. I mean, I think it's just a matter of time till Alabama jumps the #1 class in the country. I mean, let's just go say it. All right, here it is. What it means from Andrew Bone, and I'll give you a quick sample. The commitment. This is premium information you guys are getting here. You guys need to subscribe to BamaInsider.com. Help us out. Antonio Alfano, 4-star defensive end out of Colonial High School in New Jersey, announced his commitment to the Crimson Tide on Friday afternoon. Alfano chose Alabama instead of Penn State and Georgia. Alfano visited Alabama last month, a 6'4", 285-pound defensive end, is commitment number 13 for Alabama in 2019. In his own words, Alabama is a great school, he told Rivals.com. I like the brotherhood there. It's like a fraternity. All right, and we got another call, so I'm going to have to switch this up, but you can read all the premium information on BamaInsider.com. All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, man? You're on the line.
Hey, how you doing? This is DJ from the chat.
Hey,
I just called to comment on the commitment.
Yeah, what's up?
What's going on?
You fired
up? I think
up?
it's a really good pickup. I think he could be like the next Jonathan Allen for us.
Yeah, people were actually comparing him to Jonathan Allen. I mean, 6'4", 285 pounds. A lot of people are asking me if he's a defensive end, defensive tackle. I think he's a guy who could potentially play both. Who else do you like from the class of 2019? What other commitments excite you?
I'm real big on Kevin Harris. I think he could be like Tim Williams for us. And I also like Shane Lee.
Yo, Shane Lee, that Baltimore connection is real, right? I mean, Alabama's starting to dip into the honey pot out there. And you know who's doing the job out in Maryland? Let's see. I'll give you some trivia. Who cleans up Maryland for the Alabama coaches?
Mike Locksley.
There you go. You get a free month to BamaInsider.com. Email me at Kyle@BamaInsider.com. I'll hook you up. Thanks for calling, man. I'll catch up with you soon.
Okay, appreciate it. Appreciate you taking my call and Roll Tide.
Absolutely. See how easy that was? You call into the show, I'll give you some trivia, and boom, just like that, you get a free month to BamaInsider.com. I like the call, and I like the fact that the caller brought up Shane Lee and Kevin Harris. You add those, you got your inside linebacker, you got your outside linebacker, pass rusher, and then you got Antonio Alfano, who is going to be your, defensive end or defensive tackle. Let me do some house cleaning real quick. I appreciate all the comments on the show. I'm about to wrap it up here in a second. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. I think this has been a productive afternoon for the Alabama Crimson Tide, right? Alabama lands Antonio Alfano. We appreciate you joining us on the show. If you're a member of the United States military, sincere thank you from our staff. You do a wonderful job protecting this great nation. Prayers to the people in Texas today. Be good people. Like I always say, we'll catch you next time on BamaInsider.com. Hit me up anytime, 205-686-3604. From Tuscaloosa, Alabama. This is the BamaInsider.com live stream. I'll catch you with you soon, guys. Peace.